Rockstar Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone. Join the live stream. Do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button on your way in. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Got a lot to talk about here tonight. Obviously, we've seen a lot of rumors. Well, it's always rumors until it comes to fruition, right? Obviously, it started out with Tee Higgins. Nobody wanted to let that saga go. Everybody thought we were going to get Tee Higgins, and then we see the wonderful news that we received like what, midnight? I guess you would say. Was it midnight? It was close. It was like late, super late at night. So it was super late at night. So that's all I know. Definitely wasn't news that I was expecting. I gotta look at the time when this was posted. Hold on, let's see here. When was this posted? That was 21 hours ago. So whatever 21 hours ago was. But let's see. I'll pull this up for you guys. Obviously, let's talk because we're gonna dive into this whole thing first. Because I really haven't got to talk much about it. But yeah, like the whole Tee Higgins situation can finally just come to an end. It's off the market. It was a dream that now has, and not every, here's the thing, not every dream materializes, okay? Right? I know a lot of us fans were eager to get Tee Higgins, all right? You wanted to see him in the black and blue. I get it, right? But reality has delivered a harsh wake-up call, right? We're searching. I still think Carolina's searching for that true number one wide receiver. But I think everybody needs to realize that sometimes, patience is a virtue, right? Like, we'll have to continue to get that, like, searching for that true number one wide receiver elsewhere. The Cincinnati Bengals have officially locked down, obviously they locked him down for the long haul. They locked down Jamar for the long haul. Like, here's the thing. Are we in a desperate need, in my opinion, for a pass catcher? I don't think so. Do I think that it definitely would benefit Bryce Young's development? Absolutely. Now, is it a glaring issue at the position? No, I think Xavier Legette can bounce back, right? Apparently he was dealing with like a shoulder injury, a hand injury. Hell, I even heard he was dealing with an ankle injury. I don't know what he was dealing with. I know for a fact the hand, and I'm not sure about the shoulder or the ankle, but I know for a fact it was the hand injury is true. But right now Dan Morgan has refrained from making significant acquisitions in free agency at the wide receiver position. Why that is? Well, I think a lot of people think that I think a lot of people are asking why that is, but I think to myself, okay, why that is? Well, it's because our defense was so bad. It was so porous. It was NFL his worst defense in the league. And definitely a logical move given that, Evero, the unit that he was surrounded with that allowed the most points in a single season NFL history last year, right? I mean, you allowed also 179.8 yards per game last year. Fortifying the defense is imperative at that point. But you don't want to run away from the offense either. I think that's something that Dan Morgan learned last year, right? We ran away from the defense, try to focus more on the offense last year, right? And then you saw Bryce Young show some promise when he got back into the starting lineup the last 10 weeks, right? So his progression, yes, is encouraging. I still think you want to surround him with capable playmakers. Again, I don't think that Jalen Coker, Xavier Legette, and Adam Thielen are not capable of playmakers at all. I'm not saying that, right? But I think he's being smart about it from a price standpoint, right? You don't want to go out and sign Tee Higgins for that four. Does it really make sense for us to sign Tee Higgins for a 4-year, $150 million deal? Right? What's up, Joshua? Appreciate you joining, man. What's up, Earl? Appreciate you joining. Skaggy Gaming crazy trade. What's a crazy trade? What's a crazy trade? At this point, bring back Robbie Anderson. Earl Locklear, I would not open that can of worms again. I would not open that can of worms again. Absolutely not. What has Robbie Anderson done besides that 1,000-yard season with us? What good is that bringing? Maybe bring him on for a depth piece, but he ain't going to be your wide receiver one. I'm not really sure if I'm willing to pay him, even to just be a depth piece. I might as well bring David Moore back. Yeah, I just don't care if he wants to come back here or not, though, Earl. A lot of players want to go to a lot of places. A lot of players want to play everywhere. I'd rather take a chance on Jalen Royal or Jalen Noel out of Jalen Royal out of Utah State in the draft, or Jalen Noel out of Iowa State, and then sign a guy like David Moore, and then rock with that. I just don't see the need. Now, if they brought it, man, I'm not going to be mad at it. Again, can he be a solid depth piece? Possibly. Possibly. Am I going to put all my chips in a bag that he's going to be? No. I don't trust a 31-year-old Robbie Anderson to come out here and make some type of impact for Bryce Young. I just don't. What's up, Matthew? I heard that XL had some sort of procedure done for his hand injury. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he had to have surgery on his hand. I don't know when I know he's supposed to get. Eric says chosen to be on the bench. Smooth, Eric. Very smooth with that one. Zach Taylor, bring back Curtis Samuel. That's an interesting one. I would not be opposed to bringing back Curtis Samuel. I thought Curtis Samuel had a bit more of an impact than Robbie Anderson ever had. I thought Curtis Samuel was nice when he was here. Trade our 8 and a third for Aiyuk. First, then trade that first to the Cowboys for Micah Parsons. Problem solved. Yeah, you're asking way too much, Skaggy Gaming, and you're actually being very unrealistic because nobody is trading our 8th pick and a 3rd round pick for Brandon Aiyuk when Deebo Samuel went for a 5th round pick. That would be a terrible trade, especially with Aiyuk coming off an ACL injury. That'd be a terrible trade. And then trading for Micah Parsons, that's not going to happen either. Still unrealistic. Unfortunately, I like where your mind's at, but it's not realistic, man. It's just not. I like David. He said swap a first and a third place. Still, it's not realistic. San Fran would never go for that. San Fran would never go for that. That's why it's unrealistic. It is what it is. I'll talk about a realistic trade here shortly when we get into Brandon Aiyuk thing. Of course, Robbie wants to come here. Yeah. Brandon Aiyuk trade. It hasn't been done yet, Ernest. He said, yeah, I know, Randall. Tyler Warren at 8 is the best play. Now we got, we'll see. We'll talk more about it. continue with this Tee Higgins thing because obviously, you know, I mean, I saw this. I kind of find it. I kind of saw this coming a mile away with the whole Tee Higgins thing. Like us Panthers fans dared this dream that Higgins, who's a former state out of Clemson, to return to Carolina, right? And then you think about it this way: the Bengals tagged him for a second consecutive offseason, which then prevents the 25-year-old from testing the free agent market. I don't know if a lot of people realize that. However, then there's potential trade swirling around, right? And then it's just abruptly out of nowhere, just like bam. Tee Higgins, 4-year, 115 million. Jamar Chase, 4-year, 161 million. Right? When with these types of deals that get finalized, any lingering hope of that trade just absolutely extinguished. And here's the thing. I thought it was still possible. I think the door was still open, right? I think that our foot was stuck on the door while the GM of the Cincinnati Bengals was pushing the door, pushing the door on our foot, right? But now you got to pivot. Like Carolina has to pivot now. There's alternative solutions for sure, right? Like the most viable option appears to be probably now, if it makes sense, the 2025 draft. Now, again, I wouldn't be opposed if they bring somebody else in for a depth piece, right? Or if they went out and got like an Amari Cooper for a 1-year, $15 million, $16 million deal. And then you brought in like a Jalen Noel or Jalen Royal, somebody like that in the second or third round, right? And then you have Amari Cooper, who's 31 years old on a 1-year deal, was a top 5 route runner for like 5 to 6 consecutive seasons in the league. And then you go and get that Jalen Royal, Jalen Noel to develop around with Leggett and Coker, right? When you've got Amari Cooper and Thielen there to help mentor those guys. You know, that's kind of where my mindset's at, right? Like, I mean, those guys are available. I understand there are probably some concerns regarding their age. Maybe I guarantee you their contract demands and overall, like Diggs and Amari Cooper, but overall contract demands and overall they fit. But the longer they remain unsigned, the more the asking price could drop for sure. That's a factor that Carolina is maybe looking at to leverage here, right? I think they got what 25 point something $1 million left in the cap space available. So, you know, that's something they could do. That's something that they could do. Fate 9 with that $10 donation. That was big time right there, baby. Boom. Appreciate that $10 donation, Phenom. Goes, what's up, Rockstar? What's the average age of our squad as a whole, broken down into the offense and defense? Also, I think we should draft and develop our own. I mean, God, I don't know. I'd have to look. Literally would have to look at the average age on our team right now. I mean, maybe there might be something average age on the Carolina Panthers team. I don't know. Maybe be able to look something up. I mean, right now, and I don't know if this is a right now. This says 27.2. I don't know if that is correct. Yeah, 27.2, but I don't know if that's actually correct compared to let's look right now. Hold on. Mm, as of right now, yeah. So NFL teams, 2024 ranked teams, oldest to youngest. We are one of the youngest teams in the league. We're averaged around 27 years old, 5 months and 20 days, apparently, according to this chart here. So yeah, I mean we're a young team. We're the second. Apparently, according to this chart here that I'm looking at here, I'll show you. According to this chart right here, if you could see that, it says 2024. Wow. Okay, maybe that's 2024. So this past season. So maybe 2025. But as of right now, even then last year, okay, this is last year. Even then last year, okay, we're the second youngest team. Now, with the guys that we signed, Trayvon Moerig's what, 25? Um, Trayvon Moerig's 25. I think Patrick Jones, the second, is 26, 27. Bobby Brown, the third, if I'm not mistaken, is 24, 25. Tershawn Wharton, I think he's 26 or 27. I think he's a little bit older. He might be 25. He might be 25. I'm not sure. Christian Roseboom's 27, 28, I think, 27. Rico Dowdle's still young. I think he's around the same age as Chuba, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I mean, we've got one of the youngest. We probably still have one of the youngest teams in the league. The oldest player probably on this team right now is besides probably Taylor Moton. And then after that, I mean, maybe I'm missing someone, but after Taylor Moton, it's what, Mike Jack? And then maybe Jewel. So Mako 101. I see 10 wins next year, especially we keep improving our D as long as Bryce keeps improving. Yep. Joshua. What would you think about the Panthers drafting Jahdae Barron or Will Johnson first round? I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, it's not something that I'm opposed to, but it's not like I'm it's not like I'm again, you got Mike Jack. How old is he going to be? What, 29? He's got to be what, 29, 30? Jahad Barron, Will Johnson, you put him alongside, you know, um, you put him alongside with JC Horn. I mean, Will Johnson's nice. Jahad Barron is nice. Or what? Not Jahad Barron. Jahdae. Jahdae Barron. Jahdae Barron. I think I pronounced his name correctly. What would you think about him? I wouldn't be opposed to drafting him. I still think that you either got to go edge rusher or you got to get a weapon for Bryce in the first pick. I think you do. I think you need to either add it to the edge room. I really don't think we need corner as bad as we all think we do. I think Charles Smith Wade is going to continue. I think he's going to continue to develop to be a nice nickel. That's where he played mostly at Washington State. Do you really need them? Not really. It does. Here's the thing, Zach. A wise man once told me this, and y'all can tell me if you think this is logical or not. A wise man once told me an elite pass rush can make an average secondary look elite. Right? When they're getting all that pressure and forcing the quarterback to make inerrant throws or You know, that's how you call us picks. That's how you call us fumbles. That's how you cause mistakes, but in the quarterback position by putting pressure so they fold up like a cheap tent, right? So a wise man once told me that, and I truly believe that. Oh yeah, we're getting younger. That's part of the fade on. That's part of a rebuild. You get younger. The other play is risky to trade swap players. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see it making any sense. I like where his mind's at, but I just didn't like it. Just doesn't make sense to me. Let me change my next thing here. So the Brandon Aiyuk rumors, let's get into that a little bit. All right, now I'll get to some more of your comment. Well, I'll finish off these comments and we'll get into the Brandon Aiyuk thing. The other play is risky to swap, put Panthers 1 and 2nd with Cowboys first, seconded. Probably Warren falls at 12 if not grab an edge. We're gonna ball out this year, y'all. We have young swag that's gonna whip the in NFC South. I knew what you meant. We are one of the oldest last season, Clay. That's ranked oldest to youngest. Oh shit. Well, my bad. So we were the oldest last year. Let me read that up again. Yeah, you're right. I was reading that totally wrong. Okay. So last year we were one of the oldest teams in the league. But I can guarantee you now, once we'll have to see what it comes out. We'll have to see when it comes out. We were one of the oldest teams in the league, apparently last year. Let's see how it turns out coming into. Let's see what happens this year. My bad. So we were one of the oldest teams last year. I appreciate you correcting me on that. I'm interested. I'm curious as to what will be this year. I would say we got to be younger now. Agree. One of them premium position. Yep. True. Quarterback don't have to throw time to throw. Exactly, Eric. Exactly. All right, let's get into this real quick. Could we be in the apparently could we be in a swing for a blockbuster trade for Brandon Aiyuk? Again, we're getting again another rumor. I posted this on Twitter when it first broke out. And I thought it was a fake source and it wasn't. And then I got told it was fake because Panthers fans started because they were on their Tee Higgins train. Y'all remember that when we were live and we heard that there was about these rumors and we were like, what's going on? And I think it was live last week. And someone came into my live saying there's rumors that we might be going after Brandon Aiyuk. And we were trying to find all these sources. He kept saying it was Bleacher Report. I can't remember who it was. But shout out to them because they were right. I got told to go fuck myself on Twitter or X because they said my source was fake. Yeah, I guess must not have been that fake because apparently there's rumors, there's articles everywhere now. It's all over Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter. Now it's all over. So it's funny how things work. It's just funny how things work, I think. So, anyways, the question to me is, and maybe the question, my question is to you guys. We love you, Clay. Appreciate that, Sean. Josh is laughing. I'm dead serious, man. All these Panthers fans were on that Tee Higgins train that I post this thing up. which was but ended up being a true source, and everybody thought it was fake, and I just got absolutely blown up and torched on X. Oh, but anyways, let's talk about this real quick, and then we'll get into some more stuff. My question is to the 49ers fans, if any 49ers fans are out there, why is he available? Because you're in a financial pickle? You're fresh off a 6-11 season. What, 6-11 season it was? You're looking to shred some salary, especially when you're trying to, extend your quarterback to a massive contract, which sounds like for Brock Purdy is north of over $50 million per year. You already shipped 49ers fans. You already shipped off Deebo Samuel to Washington for a modest return. And now you got Aiyuk, despite signing him to a 4-year, $120 million contract extension last offseason. Now he's reportedly on the trade block because his whole 2024 offseason was an absolute shit show. He held out. Was talking about trying to get this subsequent extension. He started the season with played 7 games, and it was very minimal production. Then after by week 7 or before week 7, he tore his ACL. So now you're trying to cut cost cutting mode now. So now when you're looking at Brandon Aiyuk's contract, it suddenly looking like an albatross because trading him, they're trying to trade him. I guarantee you the goal for the 49ers right now is to trade him before April 1st. You want to know why? Because if they'll end up freeing up $22.5 million in cap space. That's why they're trying to trade him. So, of course, they're trying to make a deal. It's enticing to that San Francisco front office. Of course they are. Now, is it appealing to add Brandon Aiyuk? Is it appealing? Sort of. Right? Sort of. Here's the thing. Here's the pros. I'll give you a pros and cons of Brandon Aiyuk real quick. I'm going to break it down for you guys so you guys can understand. All right. Here's the pros of Brandon Aiyuk. Is he a true number 1 wide receiver? I would say so when he's healthy. Great route runner, very polished, great hands. I would probably say on the elite level. Capable of making deep ball plays. Definitely a presence you need here to help elevate Young. Prime years are ahead of him. 27. Yeah, he tore his ACL, but guys bounce back from that all the time now, it seems like. Some don't. But he is also in the sweet spot of his career. Again, if he stays healthy for at least the next 4 to 5 years, he's he probably has some top tier production left in him. Now, here's the thing. Can you get a team-friendly contract for now? While his contract extension extends through 2018, his base salary for the next 2 years, I looked it up, is only $1.1 million in 2025, and then in 2026, it's 1.2. Then after that, his cap hit will rise to like 16.2 million. Now, pairing Aiyuk with Legat Coker definitely gives a promising young receiving trio. Sure. So it could end up setting your offense for long-term success. But there's also cons. These are reasons why I probably would hesitate to go get him, right? Draft capital costs. They're not going to let Aiyuk go for cheap. We're still rebuilding, and we probably don't. I really don't want to sacrifice valuable draft picks for one player who's coming off an ACL tear, by the way. You also have the cap space concerns. He's affordable now, but Aiyuk's deal escalates. A $30 million annual average value, that's a tough pill to swallow, ladies and gentlemen, especially in future years. The defense needs help too. Like, again, we still got some holes that we still need to fill on the defense. I think again, the less assets you use, the more holes you can fill. And again, you gotta think about it this way: Aiyuk might come at the expense of much needed other defensive upgrades. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of how he's handled the situation either, Josh, but I felt like he also deserved the contract. Like, part of me was like, I didn't like the way he handled it, but at the same time, like, felt like he did deserve it. I mean, he had over a 13,000 yard season. What was it? Let's see his stats. I mean, this was his stats the season before. 2023 had a 92. I mean, over 101 catches, or 101 targets, 75 receptions, 7 touchdowns, and over 1,300 yards. So, yeah, I get it. I agree. Didn't like the way he handled it, but definitely was deserving of it, right? Trade for Aiyuk and Bosa, Rolly, that you are trading all your assets and then some. And then taking on 2 major contracts. Y'all got to stop with this nonsense. I'd rather just have a wide. Exactly, Zach. Exactly. Here's the thing. I would much rather go out, get a Jalen Royal or Jalen Noel, get a Jalen Royal in the third or Jalen Noel in the second. Right? Go get him. Go get those guys. Go get those guys. That's what I'm looking at. And then let them develop with all 3 of them, man. And then go sign a guy like Amari Cooper for a 1-year, $15 million deal. Or go sign Stephon Diggs if you want to. On the same type of deal. They're both going for the same price. Amari Cooper and Stephon Diggs. It's like 1 year, $16 million. Then you got your mentorships right there. You got your mentorship from a player's perspective with Amari Cooper to go along with Xavier Legette. Who knows, baby? I mean, we're going to talk about the T-Mac situation. They might go after T-Mac at number 8, which we're going to talk about today because there's a lot of Carolina Panthers fans that want that to happen. There's a lot of Panthers fans that want to go and get JBJ at the number 8. There's a lot of Panthers fans that want to say, no, trade down and go get Luther Burden. No, there's other Panthers fans that are saying, no, go out there and get Tyler Warren at number 8. Everybody's different. What's up, Panther boy? No thanks on T-Mac. Vina Thor says no thanks on T-Mac. By the way, T-Mac had a nice ran a 4.48 today, by the way, if anyone didn't know that. Ran a 4.48. Just for some of you guys that didn't know. Just thought you should know that. So here's the thing. Again, it's an intriguing scenario. But here's the thing that Carolina will have to do to go get him. I see a scenario where the Panthers move down from 8 to the number 11 with San Fran in exchange for Aiyuk. So basically, you get their 11th pick and Brandon Aiyuk All you have to do is give him the 8th pick. You get number 11 in exchange for Aiyuk. So you could do that. That would allow Carolina to land a premier playmaker while still securing a top-tier prospect in the first round. And then the 49ers, meanwhile, using their high pick to address offensive line or defensive line needs, whatever they need over there. Would Carolina kind of take that deal, right? You move back 3 spots, and it isn't a huge drop, especially if their primary target is still available at 11. Meanwhile, they walk away with a proven proven guy at receiver. I wouldn't say star. I mean, the guy's had 2,000-yard seasons. But you get Bryce Young, one of the best weapons he's ever had since entering the league, probably. Does he fit this offense? I think he does. But again, if the price is reasonable, perhaps his first single first rounder or a package deal involving a pick swap, and I can't say I wouldn't consider it. Now, if San Francisco's talking about some King Ransom bullshit, I would back the hell off and I wouldn't even touch it. And I would just continue to find my my talent through the draft and free agency. You know? Six foot five, I mean 6'5", 215, runs a 4.4. You can't and run great routes. Yeah, you don't see it very often. Vietnam's out on tape. All right. Well, I'll just say this: a lot of people are about T-Mac, but that's all I got to say. Again, if the price is right for if the price is right for again Brandon Aiyuk, I'm okay with it. Arizona projected top pick pro day today. Scouts attended, clocked him at a 4.48 40-yard dash. He's actually 6'4". Apparently, from Jordan Schultz, he's actually 6'4", 219. 6'4", 219. Apparently, they're saying a lot of people are saying this guy is an instant wide receiver 1. Whether you believe that or not, that's for you to decide on yourself. Okay, that is for you to decide on for yourself. Okay. I'll say this. When I first watched this guy's tape, there's a lot of things. He needed to prove for me in some release packages, right? Like he struggled. I'll say this: T-Mac struggles in press coverage. He often gets jammed when you watch him and watch his film. This is where his weakness is. He gets jammed. When rising too high out of his stance. I think he's fluid. I think he's agile. Sometimes he lacks creativity in his route running. And occasionally he's falling victim to defensive backs to rounded cuts. And then there's sometimes he just has this thing of a lack of hesitation moves, right? So when I assess receivers, my key metrics when I look at them include route running, the separation ability, the release techniques, right? Like McMillan's physicality to me allows him to compete, but his lack of ingenuity and his route execution and that absence of that blazing speed it does raise some concerns for me at the professional level. Now, with that being said, I will say this. His intelligence on the field, that is undeniable. He understands how to leverage. He understands how to position himself, or you could say positioning, whatever you want. But his inconsistency, footwork, what happens is it allows defenders to disrupt his rhythm. The issue mirrors the challenges faced by Leggett last year. Okay. Now, here's the thing. When you look at this guy's frame, ball skills, jump ball, versatility, it does make him an appealing day one starter. However, I think he lacks the elite attributes associated with some top draft picks. Now, players most of the time like that at the top 10, they're expected to deliver all pro or generational talent, right? You know, there's comparisons to Ohio State like Emeka Egbuka, or you talk about Texas, Matthew Golden, right? They reveal more crisper route running. I would say also superior quickness, which arguably make them more, I would say probably projectable, I guess you could say, prospects on my, and when I'm talking about my scale, I would probably say like McMillan slots in as a late first round to early second round player. And maybe that's me being boldish. Maybe that's being a little harsh. I don't know. I do think he could definitely help our offense, and I think and justify the 8th overall pick. But he's far from a flawless selection. Like, he's just not gonna be your Justin Jefferson type of guy. He's not gonna be. I've seen a lot of comparisons to I've seen a lot of comparisons for him for Hines Ward. If anybody remembers who Hines Ward was, and you don't, go watch some game film. But that's what a lot of people are saying, right? Here's the thing, though. Carolina, their primary focus in free agency, right, was to bolster that defense, right? They went and got Trayvon, right? We knew all the lingering concerns. They went and got all these guys, right? They re-solidified the offensive line. They brought back continuity there. They signed Rico Dowdle, right? Right. They still have Sanders at the tight end position. You bring back Tommy Tremble. Okay. A lot of people are saying that are advocating for us, even some analysts from ESPN. I've seen some analysts from Fox Sports as well. They're advocating for us to go after McMillan at 8. Again, they're talking about because of his size, length, the catch radius. They think that he's a good fit preference because of his bigger body. Because they feel like it's a good fit because we're looking for a bigger body receiver. The philosophy, obviously, I think with general manager Dan Morgan, which was a part of it, Seattle, they were going after big bodies, right? Bigger body receivers, I feel like, right? Getting DK, stuff like that. But when you talk about McMillan's shortcomings, really in his route running precision, top end speed, notable caveats, like, should the Panthers pass on McMillan? I'll say this. If they do, there's alternatives out there. You got Travis Matthew, right? Or not Travis Matthew. Good Lord. I don't know what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about like a golf brand. Sorry. You got Texas Matthew Golden. You got Luther Burden. You got Emeka Egbuka out who offer a lot of elite talent, polished skill sets, right? I do think T-Mac definitely demonstrates a high ceiling, right? I think his path to becoming a premier NFL receiver will require some refinement, in my opinion. I do think that his attributes, though, make him an intriguing prospect, right? But I think in this situation, I think the Panthers, you have to weigh his potential against his limitations, if that makes sense. Right? I think with other needs and talent available, I don't think selecting T Mac at 8 is a calculated risk. I think selecting T Mac at number 8 is a calculated risk. Sorry, not. I didn't mean to say not a calculated risk. It is a calculated risk. Sorry. Because one, that could either elevate your offense or then it leaves you lingering doubts about missed opportunities that you could have gotten instead. That's the way I'm looking at it with T-Mac. That is the way I'm looking at it. Chef 85, I feel you, man. It's all good. Hope all is well with you as well, my friend. Again, for everyone, for me, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about context. Before you just say, I want that guy because his highlight tape looks good. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be good. You got to dive deeper, man. Dive deeper. Add context. I prefer great hands, good separation over speed, honestly. If you're reliable in the field, every time Bryce throws it up, we know the guy's going to catch it what we need. It's a fair point. I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, I'm thinking about what we need. I don't want any more big receivers. I want shifty receivers. Here's my thinking that they pass on Tate. He balls out. We draft the wrong eggs because there's no clear number 2 after Carter. I get the feeling of KB from him. Oh, Vino Thor, you're saying you have a feeling about Kelvin Benjamin? That's funny. Hey Clay, there is the possibility of the Carolina Panthers might go after that tight end from Penn State. Yes, there is a possibility for sure, Neo. I mean, yeah, Tyler Warren. I think a lot of Panthers fans want him. I've seen a lot of Panthers fans that want T-Mac too. I trust the Panthers to develop a star. They've been able to do it a lot. Carolina Ken. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Where are you on a trade back? Open. I'm open to it. I'm definitely open to it for sure. I'm definitely open to a trade back. I would love to cast a broader net. I would rather trade back than trade up. Because I feel like that we've done in these drafts is trade up. Zach, my concern is okay, y'all talking. We need an edge. We definitely do, Rolly. Yeah, we might do well for the season, then fizzle out. Interesting. I would love to have Tyler Warren. We have the need for speed at running back and wide receiver. Rock Jones comes in and says, Clay, what do you think of Nick Nash and Ricky White? Like them both. Great shifty receivers. I'm a big Kyle Williams fan. My guy, who got me on that? Was that Lomax? I'm pretty sure my guy Lomax got me on that. On the, pretty sure he got me on the. If you haven't looked him up yet, go look up Kyle Williams out of where's he at? Washington State. He got me in on that. Here's the thing. You've also got to think about guys that are still out there. You got Isaiah Bond. Fast. He's versatile. Obviously, he's not as fast as his counterpart, Matthew Golden. You know, you also got Aiyuk Ayo Manor out of Stanford. You're talking. That guy out of Stanford checks all the boxes, in my opinion. He's got the size, speed, strong hands, mentality to match. He's built for the NFL too. He's 6'2", 210. Again, Jalen Royals. Guys, don't forget about Jack Betch. I'm a Betch fan. Not gonna lie. Jaden Higgins, Iowa State, another guy. Tez Johnson. I don't know. I'm on the fence about Tez Johnson now after what I've seen a little bit. Jalen Noel is one of my top guys. I think a sleeper is Tia Felton out of Maryland. Pat Bryant's nice out of Illinois. Yeah, Nick Nash. I'll tell you this. Nick Nash is a tricky prospect because here's the thing. He's 6'1", but has a frame that already looks like it belongs on a pro football field, right? Ricky White's another one. Got a lot of physical traits. He's solid. He's not going to wow you with anyone. He's not one of those guys that's going to wow you out the gate. But I like it. Right? What do you think is better fit for the Panthers, Jalen Walker or Mike Green? I'm going to say neither, Zach. I'm going to say Jahad Campbell's a better fit. I really like Jahad Campbell out of Alabama, man. I really do. I like the versatility he brings. He can play off the edge. He can play, he could be a true pass rusher off the edge. He can play outside linebacker. Like, if you're looking for a guy to kind of be a Frankie Luvu, I kind of like Jahad Campbell. Maybe Frankie Luvu is not the best description for Jahad Campbell. But I like Emeka. I like Jahad Campbell out of Alabama. I do. I'm a big fan of Jahad Campbell, and he did himself a lot of favors at that combine, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny could. I'd love to see it. Every team's fans want to trade back. It's advantageous to your team, but not the other is what most are missing. I wouldn't mind us drafting Walker, but I'd rather for us trade back for more picks than someone like Warren makes sense. Yep. Mecca Buka is the best wide receiver in the draft. Broski, plead your case, my friend. I'm all ears. I think this is a wide receiver class that you could move guys around to 1 to 3, 1 to 2 to 3. Yeah, I probably need to fix my wide receiver rankings, but I still got T-Mac at 1. I might but I'm a big Luther Burden fan too. I don't know. Mekabuka is nice though. Can't be mad about it. I'm not mad at that take, Broski. You probably are right. 6'1", runs a 4.3. Straight line. He's a straight line speed demon for sure. Got a great mix of. He's athletic. Got great technique still. He knows how, and that's the thing about Mecca. He knows how to use his speed to his advantage when you watch his film. Because he doesn't rely on his physical gifts. He plays head games with them, which that's a nice move at wide receiver. You wouldn't be opposed to it. Clay, do you know if the Panthers attended Team Max Pro Day? I'm not sure. Let me see if they attended it. It doesn't tell me if they attended it or not. I'm not sure if they attended it. I'm not sure who was in attendance. I'm not sure if they attended it. I don't see anywhere in the news that says that, but I'm not sure. I am not sure. Warren could be our wide receiver one threat day one with me. This is true. Rock says, "What do you? How about the Lady Game Con? Oh, boys didn't even make the tourney. Nah, they just started. They're on a down year. They're on a down year. Vietnam. What's my thoughts on What's my thoughts on Tyler Warren? Hold on 1 second. I gotta fix something. So my thoughts on Tyler Warren. If you watch his tape, it's pretty clear. I think the guy is a real deal. I think he is one of the real deal guys in this draft. Um, as a receiver, he's got first round talent, right? He can separate, catching traffic, make defenders miss. He's not the fastest guy, I would say, but he plays with enough power out there, right? Technique to overpower defenders. I feel like if you're looking for a guy that opens up the middle of the field, Tyler Warren's your guy. You know who likes to throw over the middle of the field? Bryce Young. That is a guy that's going to be a game-changing tight end. I've always said this, that the Carolina Panthers for Bryce Young needed someone that can open up the middle of the field, but you also need a wide receiver that can stretch the field. So here's the thing. Do I think Xavier Legette has the speed to stretch the field, can go and be that 50-50 ball catcher? Yes. If he proves what we saw at South Carolina, his last year at South Carolina was no fluke. If he can play like that, then yeah. Then you go get yourself a Tyler Warren, which you already have Legette on your team. Get yourself a Tyler Warren. That opens up the middle of the field. But then you could also go get a Jalen Noel or a Jalen Royal to add to the depth. But Jalen Noel could be a nice guy. You can put him in the slot. You can put him outside. You can put him wherever you want. Right? Like he's all a thing about Tyler Warren, he's a serious red zone threat. That's the biggest thing. You're talking about a total package. You talking about a total package when it comes to Tyler Warren. Is he better than Sanders? I would say so. I think he's better than Sanders. I feel like I'd be wrong to say that Tyler Warren's not better than Sanders. From a prospect standpoint, I would say Tyler Warren's better than Sanders. Absolutely. You're talking about a guy who's 6'6", 257 pounds. So that's the thing, man. Tyler Warren would be nice. Not gonna lie to you. He would definitely open up the middle of the field for Bryce Young. Jadavion Sanders is a good vertical threat. I've always said that I think he could be a great vertical threat, great receiver. Like a receiving threat, but his blocking skills were like average at best when he was coming out. Got improved. And I think he'll still continue to improve. Um, who knows? Neo, I don't think David Tepper will have again. David Tepper, we got to get off this whole David Tepper train. The David Tepper days of tampering anymore, ladies and gentlemen. After what I've seen last year, I think it's over with. So David Tepper will. I don't think we'll make that decision. I think Dan Morgan is making all the decisions. Dan Morgan's going out here and signing free agent defensive players. He could have went out and made the trade for Tee Higgins. You could have said that's David Tepper. We got to get off this whole David Tepper train. I think that, yes, I think David Tepper will get him another weapon. Whether it's in the first or not, that's not David Tepper's decision anymore. I don't think David Tepper's being involved, Neo. He might be involved in some way, shape, or form, but he's not making those picking the player decisions. Yeah, Broski, he kind of has some Kyle Juszczyk in him. He has some like Kyle Juszczyk in him. I'll say that. I think he's got some Kyle Juszczyk in him. Like who Tyler Warren it reminds me of? Like it's a mixture of Kyle Juszczyk and honestly George Kittle. Because he's like Broski's right. They did use him in some wildcat plays, which is wild. Because I watched a lot of Penn State football this year. Because of the dual Carter and of course of Tyler Warren. So that's who Tyler Warren reminds me of. Again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. I do. I really do appreciate that. Do me a favor again, guys. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, X, Facebook, also TikTok as well. I would greatly appreciate that. Make sure you guys also continue to show your support by liking and subscribing. You can also become a member today. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, so you can become a member today. It's pinned up at the top of this chat on YouTube. Other than that, guys, I appreciate y'all. As always, thank you for your love and support. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. You know where you need to be at 8 p.m. EST right here at the Ropp Star Report. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll dive into some more stuff. All right. As always, guys, appreciate you. And as always, keep pounding. Peace.